used the Sucress.
She did.
And we're going to be making a bulk version of Sucress in the future.
Good. Yeah,
It'll come with its own little scoop, so you'll be able to use that for baking. So rather than having to open a half a dozen packets, but you could do that too.
That was the most requested recipe we've had on the Kitchen Show thus far.
It's amazing. I love it. It's so good. I love it, and it's healthy too.
I've been craving it. All right, well, again, craving our today's special. We are just a few minutes away. This is another one of Andrew's top picks, top reorders, #1 customer rated. In fact, we used to call this the nurse's product. Incidentally, we used to say that there was a measure the difference product, that women were wearing their shorts, they were wearing their skirts again, because it is quite literally a see and feel the difference product. If you love it and take it religiously like I do, if you go to bed and your legs keep moving, I don't care if you're sitting for a living or if you're standing for a living or if you're on your feet a lot, this help gives us our lives back in a natural way that no one else in the world does. But that being said, it is a weekend special price. You choose 30, 60, 180, or 360. Big savings. You read those customer reviews, and boy, you want to talk about getting emotional. People get really emotionally bonded to this product, because when I say it helps give us our lives back, we're either sitting for long periods of time or standing for long periods of time, and nature is designed to work against us. I mean, it really is.
No, what happens as we get older, especially say in the summer, but just as we get older, even if we have normal blood pressure, even if we're normal body weight, but if we have high blood pressure or other circulatory issues, or we're overweight, it makes matters worse. But all of us, I don't care if you're in perfect health, as you age, the blood vessels in your legs change. They change visibly. You could see the difference. And then physically, you sense the difference, the comfort level. There's swelling in our feet that happens over the course of a day. It happens to all of us. It's gravity doing its thing. The way our body works are all the largest muscles in our body are in our lower extremities. Our heart has to pump blood down to those extremities to nourish them, provide oxygen, nutrients, to carry away waste products. So our heart is a very powerful pump. It pumps blood down to those extremities. And how do those extremities get the blood back up? It's not as though there's another heart in our feet pumping it back up. So basically, and if you notice, even when I'm up here, I tend to move a lot. That's one of the ways that our body can manage the muscles in our legs and valves in our veins work together to help move that blood up. But ultimately, what's getting that blood back up is pressure from behind. So our body's response to the blood that's not moving back up is to pump more blood following it. And what does that do effectively? It's like inflating a bicycle tire or anything, or an inner tube. What you're doing is you're pumping more fluid down there, and more fluid means those tissues enlarge. And if those blood vessels and veins aren't as healthy as they could be, aren't as toned as they used to be, what happens is fluid seeps out. And as fluid seeps out, you notice the tissue swelling. Your ankles are swelling, your calves are swelling, your feet are swollen. You notice the blood vessels themselves enlarging. And that is the one thing that's unanimous in the research on this product, is that visible, measurable difference in the size of blood vessels and veins and the size of the tissues, the ankles, the circumference of your ankle or your calf.
Absolutely. I mean, when I say these reviews read like a love letter, no kidding. When we used to joke that we would sell it with a tape measure, it's funny because I've known Andrew for over 20 years. He's been on television talking about vitamins for almost 3 decades. He's been making and manufacturing products. And what a rare gift it is to speak directly to the manufacturer. He manufactures this for us. But we used to say it should come with a tape measure. And one of the last times I worked with Andrew, I ran into him. I wore shorts. I haven't worn shorts literally in decades. But it is true when you give your body what it wants. I mean, do your hands swell? Do your feet swell? Do you see kind of those fashion, war wounds from stockings, or the tight belt or the tight waistline? That's what, our bodies are working against us.
No, and it's not as though, I mean, we're just aging. We're changing. And with that, we could choose to do it, say, more gracefully. And this is an ingredient, the key ingredient in this product. It's been recommended by doctors in Europe now for about 70 years has an abundance of clinical research and clinical studies that I quote. When we have more time on the product, I quote them in detail, because the quotes from that science is beyond inspiring and exciting. And it's a product in Europe. It's regulated differently. We're not selling this for any diseases or things like that. If we're selling it for disease, it's for the human condition. So this is not something that's coming with medical claims. And in Europe, it's regulated differently. So it's actually recommended by doctors for the healthy circulation in patients' legs and other issues. And there's something I also talk about beyond the circulation in our legs, and this is something that I always try to say as politely as possible, but there's blood vessels that also can tend to get enlarged when we might strain them, and again with age and things like that, and also with digestive issues. And those are the blood vessels in sort of a nether region would be sort of hemorrhoids. So that's the sort of thing that the natural distension in blood vessels can occur if those blood vessels aren't as toned as they could be. So again, this is an ingredient that just provides the natural ingredients to provide a healthier tone to those fragile blood vessels in our legs, those fragile blood vessels elsewhere. So it's an opportunity to make a difference in an area where I think part of the reason this product gets crazy reviews,
yeah, it really does,
is that it so surprises folks when they get it home, especially that in a matter of days. 30 days is an abundance of time to see a difference. You take 2 capsules a day, and this is an opportunity to see just a profound difference in something that we thought we just kind of gave up. There's nothing you could do. But for me, I'm an avid runner, hiker, mountain biker, and I would not be able to maintain the level of activity that I have at my age. I mean, I've been making vitamins for 40 years. I've been on this planet for over 60 years, hard to believe. But I couldn't do what I do the same way I did it when I was, in my late teens and 20s. If I wasn't taking a product like this, it really makes that profound a difference.
Absolutely. And when I said whether you're sitting a lot, which a lot of us are just, our jobs require us to be behind a computer, or you're standing a lot, or you're on your feet a lot. I mean, for many of us, when that circulation, and it's part of the natural aging process, but there is something you can do. But no kidding, my jewelry used to feel a little more uncomfortable. Your shoes aren't necessarily as comfortable. That's why they always tell women don't buy shoes,
Right.
unless you're wearing them at the end of the day, because your feet are going to be bigger at the end of the day. And this really, that's why it gets rave reviews. It is a 30-day return policy. It's free shipping. It's special purchase pricing, and you can see and feel a difference for yourself. And that's why it's one of your #1, reorder products.
It's a product we never, ever, ever anticipated. When I introduced this over 20 years ago, I knew the research and clinical studies were compelling, but I didn't realize what an incredible difference it would make in so many people's lives. This would become one of our top 3 reorder products, that it really took on a life of its own. And when you read the reviews, whether you're reading reviews about